Hey everyone, my name is Sean Arnold and welcome to a video guide for deck building for Narbash in Paragon version 42.1. Narbash is a hero which I didn't used to play quite a lot, but now I am absolutely loving him. The new system has given him so many unique tools and it's just so much fun to play him as a support. He's got a great stun through Funk. Do not underestimate his stun. This is your primary ability that you should be leveling up, and it is his main form of crowd control. It is a fantastic stun and it can even be good at just setting up plays for your teammates. It's just such a great move. March gives himself and nearby allies 125 movement speed that decays over 4 seconds. I think that levels up and gets higher and higher the more you level it up. It's quite a nice move. It's good to use as an all-team escape tool or to help you engage into a fight a bit more. It's just also good for pure maneuverability. So my people, I like some of my people. It's an aura that grants 24 health regen. It uses 12 mana every second while it's active. It gets stronger and stronger as you level it up. The thing with this is that it can be very, very costly for Narbash, and depending on how you build him, it might be difficult to maintain this. But it's still a very, very good move, and I prefer to level it up last. But it's still a very, very good form of health regen. Not necessarily good as Phase's health recovery, but it's still up there. It still helps quite a bit. Crash Bang Boom is his ultimate. This is a great disruptive ultimate. It is a AoE effect that knocks up enemies. It's good for crowd control, does decent damage, and it applies a good slow ability to your enemies. Overall, he's got a really, really nice kit. The thing with Narbash is you've got to keep yourself in the fight as much as possible to be active, and this build is going to help you to still level up at a decent pace, even though supports don't do a lot of damage to level up. So let's get to a deck build for Narbash. Where's our Narbash deck here? Now, Narbash, I prefer to play quite tanky, but this deck also lets you go between tank and also kind of more mana-ish. So let's talk about this in terms of early game hand, mid game hand, late game hand, and so on and so forth. Your very, very first card that you're going to buy is Coin Master. Coin Master gives you the wealthy attribute, or wealthy effect, gives you extra coins every 10 seconds. If you're out of battle, it gives you 16 bonus coins. If you're in battle, it gives you 8 bonus coins. It's really, really helpful for buying consumable cards. If I turn up, I need to sort out my filters. If we go to here, it helps with buying cards like Lamplighter. Reduces the impact of having to buy cards like these, and Lamplighter is a fantastic early game card. Actually, it's a fantastic all game card, really. Lamplighter is such a good ward right now. Vision is so important in the game right now. You really need to consider having vision in your deck, whether it's through Lamplight, a ward, or some kind of ability. You can't allow yourself to be vulnerable to enemies in the shadow plane because they will just gank you all day, every day. So Lamplight is really good. And that's really your early game plan. You're going to kind of hold on to this until you build 4 points when you can buy Flame of Second for absolutely free. My apologies, I missed a card. Green Spring. Once you get free Vitality, you want to go for Green Spring. It's just there to use as a stopping gap to buy something with those ability points. It gives you a bit of basic armor so you can tank a bit better for your carry if you're being a support for a carry or whoever you're supporting at the time being. And also while you're out of battle, it gives you a bit of regen so you can stay in the field quite long. So it's an okay card, but it's only there as a stopping gap until you get to your high level cards. While you have Green Spring in your hand, the next card you want to go grab at level 4 or 4 Vitality is Flame of Second. Flame of Second is an incredible utility for someone like Narbash because it does true damage, 502 damage to a neutral or enemy minion. And this damage increases by 150 with each use. It costs 25 mana, but that's really quite negligible, and it has a cooldown of 45 seconds. You want to keep on spamming this ability. You want to use this as much as possible. When I buy this ability, usually by about 16 minutes into a game, it can do about 2000 damage. And once you get to that point, you can do enough damage to one-shot a raptor instantly and get all the gold from a raptor straight away. Now, of course, if you want your carry to have the gold, then that's a thing you need to do. But in some situations, they will just be sitting there and you can just run over, pop them, and yeah, there you go. If you can hold this card for a long time, you can even use it to take all prime. I like to use this card and save it and build it up to like 3600 damage, so that if the enemies are going for all prime, I could try to steal it from them, and it's really satisfying when you do. So moving on, we have Growth Totem. Growth Totem is a card which you can buy at 9 Vitality. Yeah, again, you just want to keep on building your Vitality so you can get there. Once you have this card, it gives you the growth effect, gain 0.8 power and 15 max health every minute. You're mostly using this as another stopping gap effect between this card and a card we're going to use later on. But it's just there because it's absolutely free. This card and Flame of Second don't really cost anything. Once you reduce their cost down by to 0, you don't have to pay for them at all. So they're really just decent free effects. Protective Sentry, this is for additional wards. If you're fighting against a team who likes to use death cards or likes to abuse the shadow play like Kalari does, or if you have a Wukong on your team and you need to keep vision on where he is at all times, you might want to get a secondary ward instead of just using Lamplighter, and this can be a very good card for doing so. It also gives 84% mana regen, which is nice for Narbash to help him be a bit more sustainable. So yeah, no, it's a decent card overall. Now, those cards will kind of hold us over to ignore all of these for now. Those cards will kind of hold us on to the late game where we start to build the next card, and that'll be Vital Waters. You will swap Green Spring for Vital Waters. This is just another stopping gap card. It gives you a significant amount of health and 6.6 health regen, but also increases all healing effects cast and received by 15%. So your Song of the People will be a little bit stronger for what you do, and also you'll just be a bit more sustainable and a bit more tanky. But realistically, you're just holding on to this card until you can work your way all the way down over to Godmother Vigilant. I love this card on Narbash. This card is fantastic. It makes Narbash into an absolute tanky beast. He can take so much damage while he's doing so. People will just wail on you for hours upon hours, and they're like, I can't kill him. And you can kill yourself, doing your stupid dance, and you're just healing your health, and you have such a huge health pool with this card. What I tend to do with this card is I will have this card at 13 Vitality. I have Growth Totem, Flame of Second, and because they're free, and that's about 25 points of value in total. Then what I will keep on doing is keep on boosting Flame of Second, and at the point when all Prime goes down or Raptors are down and I can't use Flame of Second or it has no purpose, then I will put take those cards off and use Godmother Vigilant, and then it will get the elevate effect and you'll get a significant increase in your health. It is absolutely nuts. Having like 5,000 health on Narbash is just you don't feel so squishy, you know. Now, if you get into the late game, I don't often do so because Narbash isn't the fastest character to build, but if you do get to the late game, we have some options once you hit 25 Vitality, and those are to go for some mixtures of mana and Vitality cards. So if I go back down a bit, some options which we have are Malak's Grace. Malak's Grace gives you and your target a shield for 15% of your max health for 3 seconds. Remember how I was just talking about Godmother's Vigilant and how much health it gives you? Pop this with Godmother's Vigilant and you're giving you and a target ally quite a significant amount of health. Let's say by the time you can afford this card, you have this card in your hand and Godmother's Vigilant. You have about 4,000 health, so 15% of that, 10% would be 400, 600. You have about 600 health shield with you and your ally, so it's pretty nice. You can even be bigger than that. I'm probably lowballing that there, but Malak's Grace is pretty good. Malak's Prayer is also very good. Heal nearby allies for 275 health. Healed allies gain 24 basic armor for 20 seconds. Again, just more recovery for your team, more armor for them, more power to them. And then we're going to move on to Sprykin. I like this card too. You and your target ally gain 60% of your missing health and mana over 10 seconds. Again, this combined with Godmother Vigilant is fantastic. You can recover a huge amount of health with this, making yourself really sustainable, and it also helps your teammates too, so everybody's going to be very happy with you. And I think that's it. I don't think I've missed any other cards, so that's the main build there. Let's go over to gems. Really, this is not too big of a deal. We're going to focus on building 25 Vitality straight away. So we have Quick Exit and Mana Potion as our level 1 gems. Definitely want to get those online ASAP so you're sustainable. I like Quick Exit more than, say, Healing Towers because you don't really stay on the towers for too long. But Quick Exit just helps you go back to base and get out of base very, very quickly. And into that late game, it becomes still quite viable, whereas something like Healing Towers loses its value once towers start to go down. Armored is a nice effect. It gives you a shield while being out of combat for 10 seconds, so that's cool. If you don't want armored, you might want to go for damage reduction. The only reason why I don't go for damage reduction is because we're trying to build tanky, but I'm not sure actually. I think these two, either one of these two could be pretty good. I think it's just because we level up so slowly. I think you probably might get more value out of armored, but I haven't measured that or done the math for that. Damage return 10% of basic damage taken. That's really the only good gem for this slot here for you. So yeah, it is what it is. Similarly, the later ones aren't really that important. Reflexive Purify, purify yourself after taking 300 damage. That means if you take a lot of damage, you can purify yourself and get rid of any bad crowd effects, controls, effects on you. So yeah, no, it's not a huge big deal on Narbash, but it's there, you know. And then we've got improved health regen, heal for 0.2% max health per second. That seems very small, but once you have a very large health pool, it's quite significant. It feels significant, and this gets bigger and bigger if you're out of combat. So it helps you just to be a bit more sustainable, so you're not in the you don't have to run back to base to heal up too often. So that's the build there. Hopefully you guys... Oh, I forgot to talk about Domain of Stillness. I completely forgot about that card. My apologies. Domain of Stillness is another card which we have. This is like my trump card in the deck. I really love Domain of Stillness. I think it's a card that's underutilized. This card, I've tested it on Aurora. It's kind of like Aurora's ultimate, where it freezes everybody. So what I like to do is I like to run into a battle, pop Domain of Stillness, and then let my teammates catch up. And while the enemy team are stasis, my teammates can get ready to burst onto them while they can't move. And then yeah, no, it's just really good stuff. It's a fun card to use, and it's great for just kind of like a everybody stop effect. So that's the build, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. Narbash is a very fun hero to play right now. I think version 42 does it really good by him. And yeah, if you're looking for a support to do and you're kind of sick of phase, definitely try Narbash out. He's just a whole lot of fun to do and very rewarding. Thank you guys for tuning into this video. Hopefully it's been helpful to some of you. If so, please let me know. I'm trying to kind of break into the Paragon community, and therefore just share some of the knowledge I've known, because I've been playing this game for a long time. And yeah, so I'll be publishing lots and lots of deck videos. So if you want to see other decks, then let me know, or have any questions, let me know. And if you ever want to play together sometime, hit me up at the Arnold's Play, and maybe we can team up sometime and go wreck some fools. Thank you guys for tuning in, and take care.